YouTube world? My name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back together again, and in today's video, we're doing another Celebration of Cinema review. This is technically 6 days late, because I meant to do this on Monday, but it's whatever. Today, we're reviewing one of my personal favorite Disney films, Zootopia. This has been a movie that I have loved for years, ever since it came out. I remember watching it in school a couple times, especially like during like my last couple of years of elementary school, and I've always had a great experience with it. But as I've gotten older, I've learned to still appreciate the funness of it, but also just love the story and the world of Zootopia that we get in this film. So with that said, let's go in and get started talking about Zootopia. Okay, so I think the first thing we gotta talk about here is the story. I always start off Celebration of Cinema reviews with story, and the story with this film is great. As you know, the movie is basically about a anthropomorphic world of living mammals, or living mammal animals, that they created this world where thousands of years ago, as in what real life is right now, predators hunt prey. That's how it is in real life. But now, in the timeline we're seeing this movie, predator and prey now live in harmony. And in some cases of this, you can tell this is the perfect example of a story that is able to be enjoyable for kids because of all the cute animals, but also it's able to tell, it's also able to be relatable to adults and have adult messages. Great examples of this are like Lion King, Kung Fu Panda, Finding Nemo. I'm trying to think of others, but I can't at this point. But with this film, it's not only doing what Lion King did, where it's telling a mature story and connecting it to real life, where predator and prey lived in harmony, and they're taking a spin on that and making them living in a society. But how do you tell a story like that that's deeper, where it somewhat relates to what real humans go through? That long time ago, we had our history where not all races could be together, where we literally had, you remember, during the days before Martin Luther King was around, we had all white schools, all black schools. It was all that. And the way that the film develops the whole story of, you know, you have this rabbit and this fox. You have rabbits and foxes. Like, Judy was bullied by a fox. She was scarred from him for life. And in the way they tell that story, it's pretty great. It's almost like what happens in real life when a person of any color, not just like any color, like harasses you, and you somehow have that hatred towards that like race or ethnicity because of that. And even when Judy grows up, she starts to have that hatred towards foxes, or really any towards predators. Even when she becomes a cop and she sees Nick walking in the ice cream shop, you see it. She has that prejudice bias of foxes. And I think what is so great about this story is when they do the whole predators have gone savage plot line, and you're trying to figure out what exactly is going on here. How are these predators turning savage? And somehow every predator we keep facing, they keep becoming more savage, and we don't even know why. And we realize, and I like the message that like anyone can be anything, which is a great story that relates to the real world. But you do realize not anybody can go crazy. Anybody could take drugs or whatever. So it's not just all these other ethnicities or races. Anyone can do it. And even when Judy is talking up there and you have Nick like saying all that stuff, and he realizes that's not good, I don't think that's right. And so yeah, I think the way that people crafted this story was just so unique. It feels so realistic, and I love the way they did this story. And easily, another great thing about this movie are, of course, the characters. It's a Disney movie, so you gotta talk about the characters. And obviously, Judy Hopps, I think, is a pretty great character. Where once you first see her, you see how enthusiastic of how she wants to become a police officer and making the world a better place. But because of her sincere bias and of predators and foxes and all of this stuff, that because only predators are going savage, she has this bias of what we learned at the beginning of the film. And obviously, I'm not a mammal, so I have no say, but at the same time, you can tell she's wrong for saying this. Because, sure, predators may be the only animals going savage, but we don't really know that for sure. You can't just have this assumed bias that predators might be going to their primitive savage ways back. Like, you can't just assume that. You also can't announce that on public TV or on the news. So it's like, it's pretty crazy, and you see how she may have broken the world. And even all the other characters, like all the police officers at the police station, they're pretty fun. Clawhauser, Chief Bogo, he's fun. Nick Wilde was a fun addition, played by Jason Bateman, which has a unique twist as, he plays for a great fox character, as foxes are sneaky and untrustworthy, and they play that throughout the film with his backstory. I thought his backstory was very heartbreaking, but it's also very emotional. And so, in a way, I even love at the end of the film where Nick Wilde finally becomes a fox. And even when Judy goes back to her farm, and she sees Gideon Grey once again, and it's like, he's changed. If Gideon finally changed, people change, and not all foxes are bad. Not all predators are bad. So I thought it was great, and anybody could be anything. It's a great story. I love it. And I think the final thing we'll talk about here is the world building of Zootopia. Ever since this movie has come out, it's just been so unique to be in this world. Every part of this world is just so unique. To where, and in some cases, this almost feels like it's mammal New York, where part of the interesting thing about New York is it's this gigantic place where different cultures, or even a lot of immigrants, traveled to New York and created New York for the first time and grew their roots there. And in some ways, you can see how they kind of did that with Zootopia, where you have Rodentia Town with the rats, and it's kind of like a Godfather thing. So it's similar to what the Godfather was, where the Italians immigrated, where the Corleones were the first Italians to immigrate to New York. Or even just, the Rainforest District with all the waters and the all that stuff. You get Tundra Town, Sahara Square, and then of course you get the main sections, and even like the places where the hippos are coming out of the water from the little water stations, the little rodents that are coming down their tubes. You have the giraffes getting their drinks, like the way that they built this world. But even then, all these animals can live in harmony, and they get their own jobs, and it's so unique. And they even established at the beginning of the film with, I don't have to be a lonely hunter anymore. Today I can hunt for tax exceptions. I'm going to be an actuary. And that's why this world is so great. It manages to be something interesting with all these little animal antics, but takes a spin on it from familiar films. And so I love that type of stuff. And I think one of the things I'm excited for with Zootopia 2 is what exactly are we going to get more with this world? Are we going to explore other animals besides just mammals? Because if you think about it, we're only seeing mammals in this movie. What about fish, birds, reptiles, other animals? Technically, if you listen to Try Everything from Gazelle, she talks about birds. Birds don't just fly, they walk down, then get up. Like, birds exist in this universe, so I'm guessing fish and reptiles too. So, I'm hoping they do. But yeah, I'm hoping that in the sequel we get birds, fish, reptiles, and somehow like we can accept these other nations, these other countries, and we get to explore different worlds outside of Zootopia and somewhat make this world different. And maybe because we heard about the savannah, we heard about Bunny Burrow, unless it's sort of connected with Zootopia. Is this like a whole world where all the animal living places are like actual like places like the real world? Is that what this is? So like I'm interested. I'm very interested. Like Africa, we actually get like African kings where a lion is a king, or we get like Asia, China, where we get like a panda doing kung fu, possibly tying Kung Fu Panda and Zootopia in together. Just a theory. Not saying anything though. But yeah, so like it fits perfectly. So I mean, like there's so much world building that the second film can possibly do, and that's why because of the way they did the world building in this movie, that's why Zootopia 2 I'm so excited for, because of that fantastic world building and possibly stuff we could get more of. But that's my thoughts on Zootopia. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.